Hello, friends, and welcome to the August edition of Stars of Learning podcast. And this month is very special as we celebrate the spirit of freedom this month, and Independence Day celebration is happening. So I was thinking, let's embrace this opportunity to, break free from old habits, explore new ideas, and empower ourselves to reach greater heights. So this year, let the spirit of independence drive our journey to unlock our potential, to celebrate, to learn, grow, and thrive.
Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. It's no secret, friends, you have a purpose and you have the highest potential. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. So dream big, truly believe in it, and achieve it 100% to live the life fullest. And I want to join hands with you on this mission to learn and grow together, to engage, enlighten, and empower. Yes, this is solo episode of your host Jyoti G on Stars of Learning podcast. Let's begin.
So, before I jump in, friends, to this episode, how many of you are really, really busy? And I'm sure even school kids give this answer that, they're very busy and you're never going to have a free time. I agree to that. But then it's important that you explore this particular episode because it will help you to get your time. Um, an enriched relationship and also build curiosity, innovation, success, growth will all happen to you when you pay some attention, give time for yourself. Trust me that you can definitely listening to this podcast can, if you're from nowhere, you can get into an expert zone by just spending 15 to 20 minutes every month on what I'm going to talk about. Yeah. So I'm asking you to do some unlearning, learn and focus. And this episode, I'm deep diving into some of the most impactful TED Talks, which I have gained valuable insights and I have gained a lot of growth and it has helped me to grow, communicate, motivate, and at a leadership level, it has enabled my growth and development. And that's why I wanted to share this podcast with you. So, to begin, I'm going to talk about uh, at least 5 to 7 podcasts, which has added value to me and has made a differentiator. So, to begin, I want to start with Amy Cuddy's Your Body Language May Shape Who You Are. So Amy Cuddy talks about body language, how it affects not only how others see us, but also how we see ourselves. It all matters because she brings in an interesting concept called power posing. And definitely it's a potential thing. By doing a power pose, you can change your body chemistry. It helps you increase your confidence and it also changes the success. So imagine, for example, if you're in a job interview or if you're going for a very important meeting, you are getting nervous for a stage or whatever that kind of a scenario you're in, just by adopting a power pose for just 2 minutes before that activity, you are going to boost your confidence and you will be able to perform better. I have practiced this many times and it has worked wonder to me because you know uh, what I do is, I just get into the washroom, definitely do that power pose, look at the mirror and breathe in, breathe out, and that itself transforms my confidence. So practice that and listen to this podcast for more insights on Amy Cuddy's body language topic. The second one is Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. Okay, by Tim Urban. Means Tim Urban, he the he talks about the nature of procrastination in such a humorous way that he actually talks about the internal battle what we have between that decision making to the instant gratification seeker. How he also highlights how procrastination can lead to stress, and he also talks about the missed opportunities what you would have faced. And he lot of time he sets uh, context on setting up the deadline, so you will be a key differentiator in whatever you do, whatever the activities have a deadline. And whenever I listen to this podcast, I can only think of my daughter, who always does her assignments or projects at the last minute. And of course, she might be smart in that, she does well. However, I see her getting stressed out, and in turn, she burns me out also in that phase, when she does that. So, can so my thought process was, can you understand the procrastination patterns what you have? And when you know your pattern, you are able to better implement the time management. You will know what strategies you need to do. You will also understand, there will be a last minute rush. How can you avoid? So just imagine how better the life would be if you do not procrastinate and do it in timely manner. Interesting, isn't it? So let's move on to the third TED Talk, which has inspired me, which plays a vital role. The title itself says, how to speak so that people want to listen, by Julian Treasure. She shares a lot of practical tips, on how to speak effectively so others listen. The emphasis is on the importance of, as a trainer, I can also tell this is so important. You play with your tone, pitch, and the pace, how you talk, because the other person need to understand. Yeah, and you also need to make sure the other person is listening to you. And here, Julian introduces the HAIL concept, which talks about honesty, integrity, authenticity, and love. So these are the key elements for impactful communication. HAIL, HAIL. So my strategy when I know about this, because I do a lot of sessions on business communication. So speaking with intention, listening with care, that's the magical action which we need to do when we are having a communication. Your words have the power to move the mountains, and we are dealing with people, so we need to be sensitive about that. And I use Julian techniques to improve my meetings, conversations, or when I am having a group conversation, I see my team more engaged, and they also contribute more, bring a lot of ideas to the table. Only when you speak with honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love. That is what is HAIL concept. So practice the HAIL technique, friends, and see how your conversation, and see what the difference it is making. Observation is very important. Yeah. So practice that and see what makes it for you. And my next TED talk is about what makes a good life, by Robert Waldinger. This was such an eye opener when I read about Robert Waldinger. He presents findings from Harvard, okay, and this was a longest running study on happiness. You can Google and you will find the more details about it. What he reveals is that, strong relationships, uh, uh, that's more than wealth or a fame. And long term happiness and well being is all based on, strong relationships you hold. Um, so I'm sure everyone will say, I'm very busy, I don't have time for family itself. It's important we take some time to nurture relationships with family and friends, because that is the fulfilling factor when you actually do that. Take them time, spend, take a break, go with your family and friends, and see the kind of a connect you're going to build with them. Definitely, friends, true wealth lies in building relationship. And whatever the kind of a wealth you have, it will not enrich you. Invest in people, and it will definitely, you will have a richer life. So can you give time with your loved ones to invest, uh, to increase your own happiness and to have more fulfilling life? Are we not game for it? And why are we leading such a kind of a life, miserable life? Yeah. So to have a good life, focus on how you can build that strong relationship. And the next one comes the puzzle of motivation by Dan Pink. And he talks about, unlocking the drive within. Do you have that kind of a hunger with you? And that's what Dan Pink, he challenges the traditional views on motivation. He actually argues on, it's always not the monetary rewards what we get is going to be impactful, but he also shows, the purpose is the strongest motivator to be creative, to be innovative, to bring value add to the table, and most important, to have your own self satisfaction, right? In whatever you do. So my call to action is, always, why do you rise from your bed? You need to have that true motivation, true passion, why you need to know, what you're doing in your day-to-day life. So can you be a master in that? Can you have a purpose in your daily task? Yeah. And just imagine if you start having that awareness on what is your true motivation in your journey. And if you have not asked that question to yourself, ask now. What is your true motivation in your life? Yeah. You will then be able to unlock the puzzle of motivation in your life. And the next one is 10 ways to have a better conversation. Definitely communication plays a vital role, and every conversation we are having is an opportunity to grow. Agree? Because I deal with people. I Communication is the key for me in any kind of a connects what we am having. And this TED talk by Celeste Headley, she talks about how do you have better conversation. It's more than you speaking, asking open-ended question and being fully present, attentively listening. And and she also talks about engaging more meaningful conversation and avoiding more common pitfalls in communication, which we do during any kind of connects when we have. So, what is your intent when you talk to people? My conversation should be focused to connect and just not to communicate, just for the heck of saying it. You're not saying it, but you want to connect. Yeah. So, Celeste's conversation tips can be useful in your social interaction. You can start using that in your family gathering also. You can apply that, the techniques in more engaging and meaningful conversation you want to have, because the intent is to strengthen the bond, improve the communication, and also remember every conversation is an opportunity to grow, right? So that's the focus. And my next one is on grit, the Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Lee Duckworth. So, do we need success? Is a question to ask for yourself. Then clearly, you should know, understand that success is a marathon and not a sprint. And it's like a lifelong journey we have to aspire for. So, grit is going to be a fuel for you that keeps you going, because when you have that passion and perseverance, you will have a long term goal to achieve it. Yeah. And Angela, uh, uh, brings in she says that is a better predictor for success than your talent or intelligence, whatever that importance it could have. But you need to have your passion and perseverance, to sustain this kind of a mechanical life we have, stressful life we have. Your long term goals can be achieved through grit. So know about it, because identifying your long term goal matters a lot. And And we have to commit to the passion and perseverance. That's the highlight. Only then you can see your progress and achievement in whatever you do. There could be setbacks, there could be delays, there could be, hundreds of failures. But how do you perceive? How do you move up, move on through passion and perseverance? And last but not the least, my very favorite, Simon Sinek. How great leaders inspire action. So, Simon Sinek, I'm sure you would have heard my earlier podcasts. The start with why I've spoken about the golden circle principle, what he emphasizes, and he also emphasizes that the great leaders inspire action by starting with why, rather than what or how or when and things like that. He illustrates that with an example, and Apple is a classic example. He says they are the top competitor in the world and the phone world, right? So if you look at Apple, uh, and the design and the kind of a logic they've used it's all with their purpose, their passion, being loyal, having the same vision. Everything starts with why. And anything and everything I do, also I start questioning myself why. So if you are not done this yet and you want to practice it, define your why and communicate clearly with so that you inspire others while you take that action. And you also need to lead with purpose. Only then others will believe you and follow you, right? So this is the golden principle of why, and very powerful tool. Please use that. And to conclude, friends, please understand the landscape of talent development is continually changing, and you need to be informed. You need to be aware about what's happening. You have to be flexible, you have to be courageous in whatever the profession you are in, for your success and for your organization's success. These kind of a TED talks can serve as a powerful reminder for you. It can inspire you, it can motivate you, it can boost you, it can give you a lot of insights. And some of the TED talks, it can help you take action and make positive changes in whatever you do in your life. So these are some of the TED Talks which I've told you. You can Google based on your interest. There are many such TED Talks available. Please do share your experience and connect with your community, because only when you share and learn from each other, you will be able to grow well. Until next time, keep learning and growing, friends. Thank you for tuning into Stars of Learning podcast. Appreciate your time. Thank you.